Hey guys, how are you? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Oh, I love it. How many of you are interested in having a chance to win a brand new bicycle, helmet, and backpack? Thumbs up on that. All right. All right. My name is Pat, and I teach traffic safety, and we are the program that visits your schools every single year, and we do rodeos and workshops, and we give away helmets, and we're going to be doing that again this year once you guys are back in school. But I want to thank you for taking the time to join me today. It's so nice to see you guys. Has it been hard for you guys to be stuck at home? Are you enjoying doing your homework online? Thumbs up. All right. How are your parents doing? Are you guys working it out so your parents are doing okay and enjoying each other? That's good to know. I love that. All right. Now here's the deal. Watch everything that I say on the webinar. And at the end, I'm going to tell you how to go get the quiz. And you fill the quiz out and you send the quiz to me, and then we will pick a winner of the bicycle. And if you are the winner, I'll send you an email and I will tell you to tell me what color you like, what kind of bike you like. Do you like a beach cruiser, a mountain bike, what your favorite color is, and then tell me if you wear a small, medium, or large helmet. And you can know that by measuring your head around your forehead to the back with a measuring tape. You may know what kind of helmet you wear. Look at your old helmet and it'll have the size in there. So watch everything that I'm going to show you, and then I will talk about it and show you some really cool pictures. All right, you guys ready to go? Thumbs up. All right, here we go. All right. Just repeating what I basically said, listen and pay close attention. If you have trouble answering the questions on the quiz, you can email me, you can get your parents to help you, or go online to find the answer. But I tell you all the answers, so you just have to kind of pay attention. And I really want you to remember what we talk about, because it's really important to me that you're safe when you're out walking and bicycling. All right, so good luck to all of you, and we will get started. Now, the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is that, what is a pedestrian? We know what a bike rider is. It's a person who rides a bike. We know what a scooter rider is. It's someone who rides a scooter. But a lot of people don't know what a pedestrian is. Pedestrian is somebody who walks. They walk on the sidewalk. They walk on trails. They walk on, sometimes in the bike lane, which they shouldn't do. But mostly they walk on the sidewalk. So we're all pedestrians, no matter who we are or where we go. Even if you were walking from the car to school, you're a pedestrian during that short time. So we have a pedestrian down there walking. He's got his phone in his hand. Probably noticed that. Here's some people walking to school. It looks like a whole family. And here is our student walking to school, walking by himself. And the thing that's dangerous to him is, you can probably tell, he's looking down and he's approaching a driveway. Driveways are incredibly dangerous because someone could be in their car backing out of their driveway and they're not going to stop until they're in the street. And if he doesn't look up, chances are he could get hit by that car. So when you're walking to school, to and from school, or walking anywhere, keep your eyes open for those driveways, especially if the driver is in a Tesla or a Prius. You wouldn't even hear it coming. So that's why you have to watch. And when you're looking up a driveway and those lights are white, that car is moving. And if those lights are red, it means it's braking, but it doesn't mean he's not going to back out of the driveway. So heads up on the driveways. All right, sharing the sidewalk with others. We have to share the sidewalk. It's the only place people can walk. And a lot of people walk their dogs. And the reason I bring this up is that dogs on leashes, they can dart right in front of you. You could trip. The dog could maybe not be friendly and start to bark or growl at you. So when you come up with this move safely way, even if it's one dog or if it's 5 dogs. It looks like there's 6 dogs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dogs this person has. All right, so heads up when you're sharing the sidewalk. You may have to share sidewalks with chickens or cats. I have never seen anyone walk their cat. Have you ever seen anyone walk a cat? Thumbs up if you've seen anyone walking a cat. Never do I say. Oh, we have one person who's seen somebody walking their cat. Cat does not look happy about that. All right, now, people walking to school all around the world. Now, the 3 kids walking with mom, what a nice way to walk to school. In the park, it's quiet, it's nice, no cars. But people around other parts of the world have nothing but danger facing them when they're walking to school. These kids are walking over a frozen river. in the Himalayas to get to school. That's pretty incredible. Kids are walking over a bridge to get to school, hanging on by dear life. Look, their feet are barely on the pieces of wood crossing to school. They've got their book bags and everything. So every time I see these pictures, I think they must really love school, to risk their lives to get to school. Here's some kids ziplining to school. I think it's Brazil. Here's some kids in India walking across a bridge made out of tree branches, which is pretty incredible. Here's a kid taking a donkey to school on the side of a cliff. And here's some kids walking on the side of a cliff to and school every single day, back and forth along that edge of the cliff. Here's some kids walking, or I think it's a mom and a child walking on a snowy bridge. Just think, one false move and you're going to slip and fall. The people walking on the side of the cliff, there is nothing more dangerous than this. Their parent is helping them get across, but you know how dangerous it is. And they're walking to school. Now, the girl's walking over a, looks like some kind of a gigantic crack in a mountain, but look at their faces. You can tell that this is far up. They have to walk over a little board like that wide to get to school. So they're trying to be really careful as they can. And here's what it's like in front of a school at drop-off time. Cars everywhere, parents are rushing, everyone's crazy. This is when kids get hurt. It's just as dangerous as some of those other pictures. Cars are a huge dangerous item to us when we're trying to get to and from school. So heads up. So we all share something common with kids all around the world. It's dangerous getting to and from school. All right. To make it safer, we're lucky. There are sidewalks. Sidewalks in your neighborhood, sidewalks in front of schools. Stay on the sidewalk when you're walking. I love this sidewalk. Nice and clean, no cracks or anything. But sometimes sidewalks can have cracks, so keep your heads up about that. And the city of Fremont spends lots of time and lots of energy making sure that your commute to school is safer. They put in crosswalks, they put in new sidewalks, they put in traffic lights. They're doing a lot of things. But it's still really up to you when you're walking to make sure that there is nothing that's going to cause you to trip. Now, here's a great picture of a sidewalk. This is obviously a mural painted on the sidewalk. But you notice nobody is walking over that. It's an optical illusion, but it's designed to give people a heads up. Pay attention to where you're walking. But could you imagine if you were walking and you had your face in the phone, and all of a sudden you looked and you're standing on top of that? How many of you would trust to walk over that? Thumbs up. If you would dare to walk over that. See, it's a painting. Oh, I know, you're right. I would never walk over that. I'm going around the side. I don't care if it's just a painting. It looks really scary, but it makes you pay attention. Now, the sidewalk over here is a business sidewalk in the city. It's got rain grates and planters and stores and cars parked on the side, all different kinds of sidewalks. And the reason the sidewalk, you need to pay attention to it. If it's raining outside or wet, those rain grates become really slippery. Now, we don't have any in the city of Fremont, but just in case you're walking, it's just an idea that even though the sidewalk is flat, when it's wet, it could be really slippery. And there could be things on that sidewalk that could cause you to trip and fall. Not even counting how many people are rushing from their car to get in the store and rushing out of the store. So heads up on the sidewalk, that's for sure. Now, when you get to the end of the sidewalk and you've got to get across the street, you can only cross at the corner. Not in the middle of the street, but at the corner. And the corners have crosswalks. Now, this particular intersection has what I call a ladder crosswalk. It has yellow lines that look like kind of a ladder. The rings on the ladder, you walk across, you stay within those yellow lines, but don't ever think for a second that this is a safety barrier, because cars will go right through that crosswalk. They will not even see you, so that's why you really keep your eyes open. The intersection with the white truck, a little wider, it's white. Drivers don't really pay attention to them unless they see somebody in the crosswalk. You don't want to be in the middle of the street when that truck was coming. He would have to wait for you. So crosswalks is where you cross. Here's some pictures. Now, the little girl standing there by herself, I think she's too young to cross this busy street. It is so wide, and you can see how wide it is by how little the other man is across the street. Now, look at the signal right up there. Can you guys see my little arrow right there? That is the crosswalk hand saying stop, and underneath it, you can't see it very well, but it's a countdown. and it looks like it to be on 24. So that sign is telling her, you have 24 seconds to get across the street. I am not going to move from that crosswalk. I'm going to wait until the little crosswalk man, because she may not make it in 24 seconds. If you see the hand flashing before you step off the curb, you need to wait on the sidewalk before crossing, and you wait for the little white man. That's the best thing to do, because that is a busy street. You can tell just by looking at it. Now on the other side, you can see the older sister is walking with her sister, little sister, across the street. They're doing everything right, and the car stopped because you can tell by the brake lights. But what you can't see is there could be a car coming right where I am, and they aren't even watching. What happens if there was a car behind this car and says, oh, I'm not going to wait for that car, I'm going to go around? And that's what would happen. They would get hit by a car who goes around the black car because they weren't watching. So when you're in the crosswalk, you keep watching the cars as you cross. Don't stop looking. All right. All right, here's the constant thing. I have trouble with the arrows here. Hold on a second. All right. There we go. Crossing the street safely with friends, parents, and crossing guards. Now, this shot is of kids who've gotten off the school bus and they're crossing in front of the school bus, and you can see the stop sign right here telling the cars to stop. This stop sign tells those cars over there that they have to stop too. All cars have to stop when kids are crossing in front of the school bus. One thing they're not doing, they should be doing, is watching the cars, not trusting a little stop sign to make the cars behave. They have to watch. Next picture is just a family walking to school. What a great time to spend with your parents talking together. Here's dad, he's pushing the button so they can cross the street. Now during coronavirus, we wouldn't touch the button with our fingers. We would use our elbows or our knees, not your nose either. Elbows or your knees, or a piece of paper or a glove. But keep your hands away from poles, fence posts, banisters, any kind of metal or any kind of material. Do not touch it with your hands. And if you forget and make a mistake, make sure you don't touch your face or your eyes or your mouth, and wash your hands the minute you get home. So that's something to remember when you're out there walking during this time. Crossing the street with friends, parents, and crossing guards. Crossing guards, the bravest people in the world. They get out in the middle of the street with nothing but a little red stop sign. And sometimes cars don't pay attention to the crossing guard either. Here's a man in front of the school. I can guarantee you he's probably the principal who's gone out there to do safety patrol because he really cares about his kids. And there's a sign in the middle of the crosswalk saying, state law, stop for pedestrians. People in cars who are driving near a crosswalk, they must stop and let the pedestrian, which is you and I, safely cross the street. Now the kids in the picture with the bicycles, they were riding their bikes and went across the street. They have to walk their bikes across the street. And you probably notice everybody has a helmet on. A picture below with the kids walking across the street, a really busy street. Everybody's crossing the right way. They're paying attention to the crossing guard, but there's only one person watching the cars, that guy right there. He's watching the cars. So that's what you need to do. You never take your eyes off those cars when you're crossing the street. All right. Bicyclist, person who rides a bike, so obvious. Scooter rider is someone who rides a scooter. These are younger kids riding a scooter right here. Young man in the 4th or 5th grade riding a scooter, probably to school. You'll notice everybody's got a helmet on. Scooter riders have to wear a helmet. It's the law. Anyone under 18 has to wear a helmet when they ride a scooter, skateboard, rollerblade, and bicycle. All right, that's the law. That's your job. Make sure you wear that helmet. All right, places to ride your bike. Bike lane is the best place. If your city, and I know Fremont has lots of bike lanes, you ride in the bike lane. Always ride on the right side of the street with the flow of traffic. You can see the bike riders down here riding. They're riding in the same direction as the cars are going. That's really important. You ride on the right. And the best way to remember that, ride is an R and right is an R. So double R's, you ride on the right. And that the reason for that is that the cars can see you better when you're riding in the same direction as them. Really important. Scooter riding, you can ride on bike lanes, bike paths. You can ride on trails. You can ride on sidewalks. But you have to share the sidewalk with bike riders. Bike riders can ride on bike trails, bike paths, everywhere. But we have to share the sidewalk with them. The only thing that doesn't belong on the sidewalk is an e-scooter, which is a motorized scooter. All right, so paying attention and sharing. Here's some pictures of kids scooter riding, a little younger than you guys, but it gives you the idea. Here's a picture that says that e-scooters, which have a motor, belong on the street, not on the sidewalk. It's against the law. All right, bike riders. Oh, this drives me crazy when I see this. Here's some adults riding their bicycles, no helmets. For some reason, adults think their heads must be harder than yours, and it's not true. An adult is higher up, and when they fall from a great distance, and they're taking a chance not riding their bikes with helmets, without helmets. It's a big mistake. Here's somebody pulling a stunt. Now, he rode from his sidewalk right into the crosswalk, which is against the law. And the reason that's against the law is because it's a crosswalk, not a cross ride. And it's really important that you give the cars a chance to see what you're doing. And he obviously never even saw the cars behind him. He just popped right off that sidewalk, and that's how you get hit. This isn't such a bad picture. You've got to be a skilled rider to ride on this kind of surface, but he's got a helmet on, he's got bike gloves on. You get skills on, you can ride your bike, in mountain biking. It's just having the control of the skills and know what you're doing. All right, next picture, safety tips to remember. Helmet, helmet, and helmet. No matter how old you are, no matter how good of a skateboarder you are, and a bike rider, you need to wear a helmet. You need to make sure that fits correctly. Here's what you do. Does someone have a screen on here with this blue picture? Anyone check their computer to see if they have this picture on there? I don't know why that's on there. Oh, let's go back. Go back to here. All right, for some reason we have that on there, and I'm not sure why. Someone's marking on the screen. Who's doing that? All right, somebody who's ever writing on the screen, don't do that. You're kind of messing up the pictures for all of us. So I'm going to give you a chance to erase that. Can we do that? Who's ever doing that? Can they erase that? All right, it's going to make it hard to go on. So I need you to make sure you don't touch anything on the screen, okay? All right, so let's go back here. All right, 2-finger check. When you've got your helmet on, you put 2 fingers right above your eyebrows, and that means your helmet is in the perfect spot. Now, the second picture, you take your fingers like this, and you put them on the side of your head, and that's where the straps grow, one in front, one in back. And now, to make sure your helmet is not too tight, you take 2 fingers and stick it into your chin and make sure the strap is not too tight. You'll know if you can't get 2 fingers in there, your helmet is too tight. So make sure you use 2 fingers. Here's another example of it. 2 fingers, a V on the side, and 2 fingers in there. So make sure you check your helmet before you ride each and every time. All right, safety tips to remember. Helmets, helmets, helmets. I already said that, but make sure you're visible. You want to make sure that you can be seen when you're riding your bike, scooter, or skateboard. So you wear bright colored clothing. It makes it easier for the cars to see you. And if you have to ride your bike in the early morning when the light is low, or in the late evening when the light is low, you make sure your bike has lights. You should have a white light in front and a red light in back. Really, really important. Avoid trying to ride your bike at night. It's just not safe. I ride a lot at night, and I can tell you the cars don't see you until the last minute. So it's really important that you wear bright colors. You can wear a vest. I like wearing a vest even during the day. It really helps the drivers see you better. So the brighter you are, the better chance you have of drivers seeing you. All right. So it's be seen, be bright, be seen. These are kids who are riding their bikes. Some people light up their lights, but you can see how important it is, how visible you are. Again, if you don't have to ride at night, don't ride at night, because here's the thing. You can't really see what the street is ahead. There could be a pothole right in front of you and you wouldn't see it in time. Or it could be rocks or trash or sand on the road. So night riding is not a fun thing. A lot of people have to do it for their jobs, and I understand that, but you don't have to do it, so don't. All right, traffic signs. There are a million traffic signs. It is so hard to understand what they mean sometimes because there's so many of them. My favorite traffic sign is the traffic light. And the reason the traffic light is my favorite sign is because it's a gigantic traffic light, and that's me inside that costume. And that blonde girl is my daughter, Nora. And Nora was a volunteer at Safe Moves. She loved talking to kids. Her favorite thing was stop, look, and listen when you walk, ride, and roll. And she loved working with kids. And Nora grew up knowing how important safety is to her life. And her twin brother too. They grew up knowing helmets are important, Seatbelts are important, and stopping, looking, and listening before you cross the street. So she has been a teenager who's grown up with safety. Here are all the different signs. Now, the red hand is so clear. It says, don't walk. Some signs say don't walk. They spell it out. I like the red sign because it's really clear. Don't walk. All right, whoever is writing on the screen, don't do that because you're covering up all the pictures. So if you're writing on your computer screen or doing some graphics, you're getting it all over the screen here. Now, some signs have the red hand with a number, which means it's the countdown number. We talked about that. When that hand is flashing, you're going to see numbers counting down how many seconds you have to get across the street. Who wants the stress? Don't even worry about it. Stay on the sidewalk until the little white man right there, there he is, the little white man's telling you you can cross the street. But remember, look all four ways where you step off that curb, left, right, back, and forward. Don't take your eyes off the cars. It's really, really important to remember that. All right, traffic lights, so simple. They're for the drivers, but you need to pay attention. Now, look at that bike rider. She's crossing the street because she probably has a green light. The driver coming the light has turned to yellow. And instead of slowing down, I can guarantee you, I think he's going to go right through that. And if she gets hit, it's because he ran a yellow light. Yellow doesn't mean speed up, it means slow down. So be aware that drivers mostly will speed up when they see a yellow light. And if you're crossing the street on your bike or walking, chances are you could get hit. So make sure you do not cross until that light is red. Railroad crossing, lots of them in Fremont. Pay attention to the railroad crossings. Stop, look, and listen. Gate goes down, the bell starts ringing, the reds are flashing. It can be no clearer to you or anybody that you aren't to cross around those tracks. So really heads up. Be careful. Even if there's no crossing gate, don't, and avoid railroads. Really important. If you can find another way to get to home or school without crossing the railroad tracks, find it, because tracks are not a good place to hang out. All right, stop signs. There are millions of stop signs all around. It's just unbelievable. And sometimes drivers get a little lazy when they see stop signs and they'll go right past the stop sign. Now look at that car down below. That car down below obviously ran the stop sign. Now, what would happen if you were riding your bike going this way, all the way here like this? Oops, I may have done that. And you thought that car was going to stop. And if it didn't stop, he would have hit you. And that driver broke the law and took everybody's life in their hands. And it's so irresponsible. That's why you need to stop at those stop signs, okay? And be really careful. Let me see if I can get here to turn the next slide. Oops. Hold on one second here, guys. Hang tight. We're going ahead and trying to get, let me see if I can get down here. Let's see, here we go. Oh, hang tight, guys. All right. We're having trouble moving our thing. All right, hold on. There we go. Whoops. We're having some tough technical difficulty. Oh, here we go. All right, let's go back. Hold on. Be patient, guys. All right, stop sign. There you go. All right, stop signs. Now, look at the stop sign in the far right corner. There's no sidewalks. So this is a very dangerous intersection because the drivers can think they can see everything around them, and anyone who's walking is going to have to walk on the street. So this is why you have to be very, very super careful. All right, push button. Push button's so easy. Push the button, it changes the light. So just like we were talking about, you only cross when you see the little man. When that light is flashing, do not start. If you're in the middle of the crosswalk and the hand starts flashing, it will tell you how many seconds you have to walk. So you keep walking if you're already in the crosswalk. But if you haven't started walking, you make sure you wait until the little walkman shows up. And if you see the red hand, solid red, do not cross the street. So important, okay? All right. Push button now, because of coronavirus, we want to make sure we don't touch anything with our hands. So somebody has sacrificed their dog to push the button for them. And then somebody's pushing the button with their purse. Someone's able to reach up there and hit the button with their knee, and someone's using a Monopoly box to push the button. But what about the poor dog? He's touched it with his paw. So she probably should wash the dog's paw when she gets home. People are pressing it with their elbow. There it goes, perfect example. Oh, there's poor dog again is being sacrificed to push the button. The boy probably pushed the button with his elbow and he's getting ready to cross. All right, these are real signs that I have seen. Beware of falling coconuts. Now it sounds funny, but there's coconut trees up there, and if they fall and hit your driver's car, that's gonna kind of freak them out a little bit. There's a sign down there that says no traffic signs. Well, if there's no traffic signs, what's that doing there? And then my other favorite sign is beware of smartphone zombies. Okay. All right, Marnie, my faithful assistant, can you come over and help me clear the drawings that are on the page?
Whoever's annotating, please stop.
I appreciate your artwork, but you're covering up all the things. So it's really important that we don't draw on the screen because it covers up. All right. Now, caution falling cows. I have seen this sign myself. I live in the mountains, and I often see cows on the edge of the cliff thinking, what happens if that cow fell? Well, it's telling you, be careful. Now, the sign down below is obviously a sign for probably a campground, gigantic mosquitoes. But those are all the different kinds of signs they have in the world. All right, we're going to go to the next one here. Now, unsafe practices. You guys are a little older, so you know not to run into the street if your ball goes into the street. But sometimes something like your cat could run into the street, your dog could run into the street, your little brother could run into the street, and you would follow them trying to keep them safe. This was a set-up picture. That little boy was not hurt. But you can see how important it is that you don't dart in front of a car. There's no way that car would have time to stop to prevent themselves from hitting that boy. Running across the sidewalk, really, really dangerous. Cars don't have a chance to see you. And ice cream trucks. If you see an ice cream truck and you think it's going to leave, your intuition and your first impulse is to run across the street and get there before it leaves. That would cause you to dart across the street, and that's very dangerous. All right, unsafe behaviors of bike riders. All right, bicycles are meant for one. That's actually a motorcycle, but still, bikes are meant for one unless it's a two-seater. Bike riders not paying attention to what they're doing. No helmet. He's looking at the girl, keeping his eyes on the road. And then somebody's riding too close to the parked car. And the skateboarder is riding, looks like right across the street with no helmet. So riding without a helmet is dangerous. Riding in areas that aren't designated for bike riders or scooter riders. Wearing headphones, riding with earphones, and riding with others. Now, the picture of the girl, she wasn't paying attention and her tire got stuck in the rain grate. Now in Fremont, we don't have those, but in some cities there are those. So make sure that you pay attention where you're riding because she fell and that probably did not feel very good. All right, before crossing the street, you stop, look, and listen. Those are 3 words that if you can remember will help you be safe each and every time. Look for traffic, look for cars turning. So if someone's blocking out the pictures, I would really want you not to do that. I will be able to find out who is actually doing that, and you will be automatically disqualified from taking the quiz. So if I see someone blocking it out, I will find out who's doing it, and they will not be qualified to win the bicycle because you're making it really hard for everyone else to see the pictures, okay? So I really want you to be respectful to everyone else who wants to learn something today. All right, so you stop at the corner, you look always before you cross, you look for traffic, you look for cars turning, you look for bicyclists, other pedestrians, you make sure you're aware of your surroundings, and listen for coming traffic. It could be a siren from a fire truck or a police car, dogs who are on a leash could be coming up behind you, and cyclists who can use their bells. All right, so make sure you look at your surroundings each and every time, okay? And we're gonna go down here. And again, stop, look, and listen. You cannot go wrong by forgetting those words. So remember, stop, look, and listen. And here's the slide. Quizzes are available at this link. Take a screenshot of my email, safe.moves1@gmail.com. Get the, that's where you send the quiz. Quiz are available at the link that you see. So take a screenshot of that and you can get the quiz. You email it to me at safe.moves1@gmail.com. All quizzes have to be submitted to me by June 1st, which is Monday. So you have a few days to do the quiz, and we'll select a winner on June 8th. Now, if you have trouble doing the quiz, get help from mom and dad. If you have a really hard time answering the questions from the quiz, and if you were listening, you probably won't have trouble with the quiz at all. Use your common sense. Every one of you know how to be safe in traffic. It's just the choices that we make sometimes make us unsafe. Go have a great summer, guys. We hope to see you at school this fall. Study hard. Make sure you get some exercise each and every day, and be safe. And we're going to get through this together, and we'll see you in school soon. Thanks a lot, guys.